Okay, we're going to quickly go through a few of the exercises. So, in question 1 is asked us to write each major interval from the E major scale on the staff below. For B, change each note. So change each major interval into minor intervals. So change each major interval into a minor interval by lowering the upper note by a half step. So it asks for a second. From E to F would be our second. So we can go ahead and draw our next second because it's asking for another second. My knowledge of E major scale tells me I have F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. So if I'm going to make this a major second, I must ensure that this note F is A sharp. Now, in order for this to be a minor interval, I must lower that F sharp back to what it originally was. So from E to F sharp would be a major second. So to make it a minor second, I will take this E F sharp and move it back to an F. So I must cancel the sharp that I drew. Please be careful not to do something like this. That's why it's important to draw the notes first. So if you know that it has a sharp, do not do this. That is incorrect. Okay? You want to draw your interval first, and then you want to go ahead and put your sharp on the opposing side so that you keep it neat. You don't want the sharp to be squeezing in between a note as this. This would be considered wrong. This would be considered correct. I drew my interval first, and then I drew my accidental required on the opposing side. Okay, question 2 asks us to rewrite the major interval as a minor interval by lowering the upper note by 1/2 step using the same letter. So we're going to rewrite the same thing, and then we're going to create the necessary accidental needed to lower it. So in B flat major scale, we know we're going to have a D because B flat major scale has B flat and E flat. So now since this is a major interval, a major third, to make this a minor third, we're going to take this D, we're going to lower it to become D flat. Now it's going to be considered a minor third. We'll come on over here. This is a D, this is a B. So we're going to, they say that we're going to consider this a major sixth. So we're going to draw an interval of a sixth because that's not going to change. And then we're going to lower the upper note by making it into a minor because D major scale has a B, which means that if I take this B and lower it by a 1/2 step, this would be considered a minor interval. So if I come over to my keyboard, from D to B is a major, make this B to B flat. So from D to B flat is now considered a minor sixth. Okay, you can go ahead and complete the rest. Coming on to question 3. So again, what I like to do is look at the distances, go across and write all my distances, and then come back and create all my intervals. All right, so I know that this interval is a fourth. I'm going to draw a fourth. This is a third, 3. This here is going to be a sixth because from C to G is a fifth. One note up, that'll be a sixth. From D to D, that'll be an octave. So I'll draw an 8. This is a fifth. This here is a second. From E flat to D flat, this would be a seventh. And then, of course, this would be a unison or a 1. This is what a unison looked like. Now, the next step I'm going to do is to save myself a little bit of trouble. I'm going to go ahead and find all my perfect intervals and complete those. So I know that a fourth is usually going to be a perfect. An octave is perfect. A fifth is usually perfect. A unison or a 1 is usually perfect. Yes, I can go ahead and double check. If I go from F major scale does have B flat in it, so that would be a perfect interval. And remember, perfect intervals occur in both majors and minor scales. So you would have a B flat in F major also. Okay, so perfect intervals occur in both the major scale and the minor scale, which is why they're considered perfect. You'll see them in both. 3, 6, 2, 7, those are interchangeable based on what's major or minor. So you have to alter the note to create those. All right, so in E major scale, my knowledge of E major scale tells me I have a G sharp, so this will be a major interval. In C major scale, do I have the note A? My knowledge of C major scale tells me I have no sharps and no flats. So I should not have A flat in C major scale. So for C, from C to A would be a major sixth. Make this A into an A flat, it has now become smaller. It has lowered. So from C to A would be a major sixth. Make this A into an A flat. Now it's considered smaller. So now it has been lowered. So this would be a minor sixth. Seconds, this note here is a G. In G major scale, would I play the note A? Yes, I would, because in G major scale, I know I have F sharp, and A is part of that major scale, so this would be a major second. Last one, here's my seventh. In E flat major scale, would I play the note D flat? My knowledge of E flat major scale, again, we learned in the earlier unit, E flat major scale has 3 flats. What are those flats? B, E, and A. So those are my 3 flats. D flat is not part of that key signature, or these, yes, not part of that key signature, which means that D flat has been, the D that would be in the major of E flat major has been lowered. So this would be a major, this would be a minor seventh. D flat does not occur in the major scale. So that means that this would be a minor. Okay, you can go ahead and finish up the rest of. Okay, coming over to question 4, it asks us to write these harmonic intervals above A flat. So my base note would be in A flat. So I'll start by drawing my A, and I'm going to draw a sixth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I end up landing on the note F. It is asked, I'm going to be writing out what my A flat major scale has so that it can assist me in creating my minors if need be, if I need to change anything. So A flat major scale is here. Okay, so A flat is there. My sixth note away from A flat would be in F. So in A flat major scale, I would play the note F because these are going to be my accidentals or my key signature. So in order to make this right now this is a major because F is considered part of the A flat major scale. Now I have to create it to make it a minor. So from that F, I have to make it lower, one step lower. So I have to make this into an F flat. Here is major second. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my interval of a second. It says my lower note should be an A flat. So I'm going to make sure I do that. I need to create a major second. So I asked myself, in A flat major scale, would I play the note B natural because there's no flats yet? The answer is no. In A flat major scale, I have to play B flat. So I'm going to go ahead and make this B a B flat. Okay, you can go across and complete the rest of that. Okay, question 5. Write the harmonic interval above each note. So we are creating a major seventh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the bottom note there is a, what is that, A flat. My knowledge of A flat major scale tells me I have 4 flats. So G is considered part of the A flat major scale, so I don't need to change that. Here I'm going to draw my major second, so I'll draw the note F. In E flat major scale, would I play F? The answer is yes, because in E flat major scale, I have 3 flats, B, E, and A, and those flats are not affected the note F, so that would be considered part of the major scale. And I'm going to create my minor. So this is F. I'm going to go up and draw my 6th note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the 6th note would be a D. In F major scale, do I play the note D? The answer is yes, because F major scale has the accidental has a B flat. So that means my D is within the major scale of F major. Now I need to make it a minor. So in order to make this interval a minor interval, because right now looking at it, it's considered a major interval, I must take this D and lower it by a semitone by making it a D flat. So F, to create the minor sixth, F, D flat must be present. Okay, you go ahead and continue on. Remember, all your notes must be written above. It says harmonic intervals above. You'll always base your higher note on what the major scale would have in the lower note. And then you make your adjustment according to what you need to do. Okay, so you go ahead and complete the rest of question 5. Okay, now finishing up with question 6. This one here, it says name the interval below each bracket. So we have a key signature of 4 flats. Okay, so we can be basing this one on the key of A flat major. You know there is no accidentals here and there to create into minor, as we learned in it earlier. Okay, so we're going to be, the first thing we're going to do is write out our interval distances. So from E to A would be 4. From C to E would be third. This note here is B to D, so that will be a third. This note here is E to G, so that will also be a third. Okay. Now, the first thing I want to do, I'll look and say, okay, what intervals can I make perfect? That will make my work a little easier. Right now, the only one that's considered perfect within this is going to be the fourth. So I'll go ahead and name that as a perfect. I can also say E flat and A flat is part of the major scale, so that, yes, it's perfect. Now, we're going to come here. C to E flat. Remember, this is a key signature of E flat. In C major scale, would I play E flat? The answer is no. In C major scale, I'll play E natural. So since this is an E flat, it has been lowered by 1 semitone. So from C to E, is a major. That make it E flat, it has been lowered by 1 semitone. So that will make this interval a minor third. Okay. This note here is B flat. This note here is D. In B flat major scale, would I play D? Yes, I would, because in B flat major scale, I have 2 flats, B flat and E flat. D is not affected by that, so D is part of the B flat major scale, so this would be a major third. In E flat major scale, would I play G? Again, this note is in E flat because of my key signature over here. So in E flat major scale, would I play G? The answer is yes. E flat major scale, I know it has B, E, and A, and these notes are not affecting the letter G. So G is still a part of the E flat major scale, so this would be a major third. Okay, so you can go ahead and complete the rest of question 6, and that concludes all of unit 5. I'll see you in the next unit.